Hey everyone, I'm here with a brand new release from E-Flite, and it is the Twin Otter 1.2 meter scale airplane. I gotta tell you, this thing is really cool. It's a model after the de Havilland aircraft that's very popular up in Canada. I haven't seen too many, in fact I've never actually seen one in person down here. I've seen pictures of them online, and they are very cool to see a twin engine aircraft of this size on floats and operating off of some rough airfields. And I say E-Flite nailed it with bringing that model to life here with the Twin Otter 1.2 meter. 1.2 meter obviously is the wingspan. The plane we have here on the bench today is the bind and fly version, BNF. There's also a plug and play version available. And we're going to do the unboxing, and then we'll do an assembly video as well. A lot of really cool features of this aircraft, and we're going to kind of get into that as we start the unboxing process. I was lucky enough that one of my club members decided that he had to have this airplane and got it on pre-order. I don't actually own this plane. I'm going to be borrowing his model here for the unboxing. But I knew that from this summer talking with him, he was looking for a twin engine airplane. He likes scale, civilian planes as well, and this one really fit the bill for him. And also I think it sells at an awesome price point, and it's at a size that so many of us love. It also flies on 2200 3S batteries, which if you're like me, you got a mountain of these things. So let's go ahead and let's get this thing out of the box. As you can see, it's a considerably smaller box than what I dealt with the EC-1500, which is a much bigger airframe. Even though that it's only a little bit bigger in wingspan, the aircraft is quite a bit bigger. So let's go ahead and get this thing out and take a look at the new E-Flite 1.2 meter wingspan Twin Otter aircraft. Alright, so the top of the box cover is off, and we'll take a look at what E-Flite has put together for us here. As you can see, everything is very well packaged, which is typical of all E-Flite and Horizon Hobby aircraft. Everything is wrapped in plastic. It's well protected here. You can see the wing is mostly assembled already. So let's go ahead and break out the individual components and take a look at them here, alright? Alright, the first step is always to remove any type of tape that is around the aircraft when it's packaged. And the reason I do that is because if you leave the tape stuck around the box, if you catch the fuselage or the wings or anything on it, you could either damage the paint or damage the finish. So I learned that the hard way many years ago, and so I always make sure I pull the tape away and get it well out of the work area. All right, here's the fully assembled wing, already wrapped in plastic. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. Okay, here we go. Once again, I'll move the plastic off to the side. I fully expect one of the cats to be playing with that by the time this video is done. Alright, so here's the wing. Let's go ahead and show it here. Everything is pre-assembled, so it's got the motor. The motors are pre-installed, and what I really like is they have the prop adapters color-coded. So I assume we're going to have color-coded nuts inside the bag here. So we got a red one and a green one. That's a really cool idea to make sure, because they're kind of rotating props. Ailerons and flaps. Flaps are already pre-installed on this. All servos are already pre-installed. I have to say the paint finish on this looks really outstanding. It definitely looks pretty good. I like it a lot. It's a very solid looking foam too. In fact, the whole wing really is surprisingly solid. It's a little soft, but you know, just from the texture. But I would say it's pretty comparable to everything else. But it's a pretty solid and dense wing. I'm really impressed with it. Control surfaces all look pretty good here. I notice there is not the fuel tubing on the horns here for the control surfaces, so you might want to add those. Not necessary, but if you're like me, it's better to have a little extra safety and security there. Lights are already pre-installed. You can see we got landing lights. Navigation and strobe lights are installed on the outside of the wings. And also, it looks like most of the electronics and stuff are already pre-packaged. We have a power lead here with the ES or EC3 connector for the battery. All the ESC, the flaps, lighting, everything like that is already pre-wired and comes out a little junction area here on the center of the wing. Looks like we got two alignment tabs up front and one screw for the back. The wing is actually smaller than I thought it was going to be, not so much in length, but in actual chord length here. The width of it's a little bit smaller than I thought. Of course, until you actually get the plane out of the box and take a look at it, it's hard to tell just from looking at the pictures. But it's a good looking wing. A lot of high gloss on this too. I'm looking at the lighting here. It's surprisingly shiny right out of the box. So let's go ahead and keep going. There we go. Another foam piece here. All right. Whoop. And there goes Piper the cat after the foam, as I figured she would. All right, here is the horizontal stabilator. Once again, it's got black de-icing boots already on it. We've got the de-icing boots on the wing as well. It's pretty well assembled right from the factory. It's got a nice big plastic connector here that links the elevator together. The horn is already pre-installed. You can see it's got a carbon fiber spar down the middle of it, so very lightweight too. I gotta say, this thing is crazy lightweight. So very similar in probably size and proportion to my Cherokee. And you can see it's got the little openings here for the fins, which are important on float planes to help give you a little bit extra yaw control on the water. So we'll just keep going here. All right. This is well, we had a lot of stuff is taped all together in here. So let's go ahead and kind of separate some of this stuff out here, shall we? So we don't, before we get the fuselage out. Well, this is very well taped together, and I'll probably just set it off to the side here and maybe cut it. There we go. All right, we're gonna keep the instruction manual separate. We have 2 props that are counter-rotating, including the painted blue spinners. What I like is they already pre-painted the props on here. They're the black and white stripes, so you'll definitely know when these things are spinning. And that's for my own personal plane. I'd be painting the prop tips. That's another step I don't have to worry about. Instruction manual. Obviously, very important for everyone to read the instruction manual. Be familiar with the aircraft, familiar with the setup and the assembly and the center of gravity, as well as the throw dimensions before you fly it. Always a good idea to review the flight manual before you get out and fly the aircraft. Okay, we got a bag of parts here, all taped together. We have main landing gear, the nose landing gear. These are pretty stout tires on here too. They're definitely going to work well in grass. They're pretty firm as well. Yeah, this is going to look. This should work out pretty well. Looks like the nose gear is pretty thick steel on there as well. So yeah, everything looks very well done. We got pieces for the floats are in here, which I haven't even talked about really yet. Struts, and then some miscellaneous pieces here. Not sure exactly what all those are. We'll get into all those, but they're all taped together here at this point in time. So I'll just kind of set them back off to the side, break into them a little bit separately. All right, we got the bag of pieces and parts here. We got a little zip tie in here. The plastic bag actually ripped getting that apart. We have the struts for the wings and a large nylon thumb screw. It looks like for field assembly, it's going to be no tools required to put this together. You also got a bag of little miscellaneous hardware here, which we'll use to put the airplane together. I'm guessing most of those are actually probably for the floats. Okay, move that off to the side. I think that covers the hardware. Now comes one of the coolest parts of the unboxing, and that is fuselage. All right, well wrapped in plastic. Boy, this paint finish looks nice on here. You can see, unboxing with kittens is what this should be called. The 2 kittens are both having a blast with all the stuff that comes out of the box here whenever a new airplane comes in. So here's the fuselage for the Twin Otter. Very nice scale-looking window decals on here. Battery hatch located right here, so the canopy pops off. It's got a pretty good size magnet underneath there. You can see it's a Velcro strap with a plywood base. Push rods are already pre-installed for the nose gear. This has the AS3X receiver already installed, and it also has a plywood reinforced area for the thumb screw goes, and a plywood base for the for the elevator and rudder servo as well. So I like to see all the, there seems to be a lot more plywood being used in the construction and for reinforcement than I'm used to on a lot of other planes, and I really like that. I like having the extra support where it's needed inside the aircraft. Very lightweight airframe. I mean, this thing doesn't really weigh anything. Of course, maybe I've been hanging around my EC 1500 for too long and my big P-51 Mustang, and that's maybe why. But yeah, it's a very lightweight, well detailed. It's got indented panel lines all the way across, indented around the door, cargo hatch. It's got a hatch cut out on the other side here that you can see where that would be. But I love the glossy finish. I mean, it's hard, I don't know if you guys can really see it in the light. I'll kind of move it around a little bit. My Cherokee and the EC 1500 had kind of a dull, almost a matte finish. And I kind of want to gloss those up on a civilian plane. I like my civilian planes really nice and glossy. And they did a really nice job making this one look shiny right out of the factory. So if you added any high gloss clear coat to this thing, you'd really make it pop. But overall, really nice. I like the graphics on it. I love the blue and the white. It's a good looking airplane, no doubt about it. This is the first time really taking a look at it here in person, and I like it. I think E-Flite has another winner on their hands. So let's go ahead and get one more thing in the box here. Put the canopy cover back on there for the battery. One of the things that really impresses me about the way E-Flite has launched a couple of their more recent airplanes is the amount of value they bring. And then what I mean by that is the features and benefits and things you get inside the box when you buy it. The EC 1500 came with skis. It had multiple different flight configurations for how you want to fly it. That brings extra value. It works with floats, but you got to buy them extra. This thing comes with floats right from the factory. I'm only going to get one of them out here. They're identical, but take a look at this. Right from the factory, you get a set of floats for this thing. And they're a good sized float too, and I'll tell you what, this airplane looks incredible with these installed. And of course, living here along Lake Michigan, we have water everywhere. Lake Michigan, we have Spring Lake, we have the Grand River. There is water literally everywhere around us. And if you're gonna live around this much water, you better have a float plane. And I tell you, this thing is gonna be awesome. Floats will also work well on snow, and being winter, this is another airplane that would be fantastic for snow flying, as well as operating off grass with the landing gear. So it's got a single rudder installed. It comes with a push rod in the bag here. I think for the assembly, we're going to set it up with landing gear, and then we can always add the floats later. So a lot of stuff comes with this kit. It's a right-sized airplane, in my opinion. It fits, even if my small car, I have a Fiesta, it will fit perfectly in the back there. You can toss a couple different airplanes in the back without having to take them apart. It's the right size to operate off a grass strip. It's easy to store, easy to transport. It's at a very attractive price point. I think they have a winner here. Flaps, lights, already pre-installed. There's a lot of value to this aircraft, and looking at the quality of it, it looks really nice out of the box. So we're gonna go ahead and move this stuff off, grab some tools, review the manual, and go ahead and put this thing together. But that wraps up the unboxing of the brand new E-Flite Twin Otter 1.2 meter bind and fly.